He still runs that truck just as hard as it'll go every lap. Down at the bottom of the racetrack, barely hanging on to it.
Hornaday, a 54-year-old out of Palmdale, California.
He just turned 54 last week, I think.
And so strong in the Truck Series. There's Kyle Larson. Talked about this young man making his start in the Camping World Truck Series, working inside of Miguel Paludo.
It's a battle for the 11th spot.
The last time he was down on the inside of someone, we had a spin off turn 2. So see what Kyle learned from that experience and if he can hang on to it underneath Paludo.
Still a long way to go with this one. 30 laps to go.
Larson a little bit sideways off turn 2. He's clearly a little bit faster than Paludo, but man, finishing that pass is so hard.
Coulter to the inside of the 88. The 88 with the momentum on the outside, but Coulter very strong on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks as though he's going to take that spot away. Here comes the 88 of Crafton now, strong on the outside.
Crafton gets some momentum from the high side.
Jason White looks to the inside of the 22 of Coulter, has to get out of the gas. That's Johnny Sauter, the 13.
Now Coulter gets to the outside of Crafton. He's going to make that pass work and going to bring Sauter with him.
So Sauter gets by the 88.
Kind of reminds you of Daytona and Talladega race, doesn't it? Depends on what line you're in, which way you go.
And how about Crafton jumping back to the outside of Sauter and passing him back?
These guys can't work this out at all.
Now Hornaday looks to the outside of that 13, all over the back bumper. Here comes Jason White in the 23.
Jason's going to jump to the high side. You know Hornaday's going to drive it hard down in the corner. If Jason could just keep his fender up and beside Hornaday, can't quite get it.
Trying to stay on that right rear quarter panel of Hornaday as they went through the turn and down the backstretch. Now Coulter sets his sights on the 18 of Leffler.
All these guys have been back there battling behind him. Coulter's been trying his hardest to grab that spot from Leffler. Can't quite pull it off, and here comes Crafton to make it 3 wide.
Crafton high across the stripe. Going to pass both of them on the outside. Crafton in front of both Coulter and Leffler.
He got such a run because they were side by side, punching such a big hole in the air, and Crafton really took advantage of it.
Rockets up to the 5th spot, battling for 6th behind him. Coulter on the inside, Leffler on the outside. Those two still haven't decided who's going to be 6th.
And Johnny Sauter's liable to come into your picture here because he's lurking behind these guys, and there he comes.
To the outside he goes, trying to take the spot away from Coulter.
He saw Crafton do it on the outside. He's going to take advantage and get by Coulter from the outside.
Now he'll set his sights on that 18 of Jason Leffler. While all of this is going on, Buescher with a 1.8 second lead now over Ty Dillon. Keselowski running just behind Ty Dillon.
Last time by, both Dillon and Keselowski were faster than James Buescher, so could be tightening it up at the front as well.
What a great battle here from 6th on back.
There you see Tim George Jr. not quite up to speed in that 2, but back out on the racetrack after smacking the wall.
Yeah, Tim's being shown 1 lap down now in the 21st spot.
Nose to tail now, the 18, the 13, 22, and 9.
And Jason White, the 23, not that far behind.
The groove was a single groove through practices. Qualifying, we saw him maybe experiment a little bit. And once the green flag dropped for this race, they were all over the track.
It was on.
I think we've seen more passes done, though, on the outside lately than we have the inside.
A little bit of potential debris there on the racetrack as the field goes by. Some tape off of probably the 2 of Tim George Jr.
Yeah, at first I thought it may be a little bit of rubber, but now, as you mentioned, it looks more like it was a piece of tape.
You know, we talked about Justin Lofton having that crash and going a lap down. He got an Aaron's lucky dog, Phil. He's back on the lead lap, running in the 16th spot. If you're going to win a championship, you have to rebound on your tough days. This has been a tough day, but man, what a rebound for this team.
You talk championships, we look at points as they run. Ty Dillon 4 back from that 17 of Timothy Peters, and Justin Lofton back there in 3rd as they run. James Buescher in front of the field, 4th in the points, looking strong tonight. Still out in front of the field at Kentucky Speedway. It's the 31 of James Buescher. He has a 2.1 second lead over Ty Dillon running 2nd. Keselowski's 3rd. Crafton and Peters battling for the 4th and 5th spot. Crafton has it, Peters back in 5th. Johnny Sauter, Joey Coulter, Jason Leffler, Ron Hornaday, and Jason White, your top 10.
Battle for second heating up. Ty Dillon, the 3 truck, has it. Brad Keselowski has chased him down now, closed it within 3 or 4 truck lengths.
About a 1/10 of a second separated the 2 of those trucks as they crossed the stripe the last time by.
And a real fast truck. You can see here Joey Coulter has been working on Johnny Sauter. He's faster than Sauter. If he can make this move, he might have a chance to run up there and do battle with Crafton and Keselowski, because I think Crafton and Keselowski, especially Keselowski, is faster than Ty Dillon and could be a player in this thing before it's over. He could get around Dillon, maybe get up there and challenge Buescher.
And man, what a caution would do now to change the complexion.
Fuel shouldn't be an issue. Most of the field on pit road at lap 104. We talked about the pit window being anywhere from 50 to 55 laps.
And we had another caution after that, so they got a little bit of a cushion as well.
Peters in the 17 running 5th. Sauter running in the 6th spot. Coulter is 7th. We see Sauter and Coulter on the screen. Sauter trying to hold off that 22. We've seen numerous times the 22 of Coulter either get to the inside or outside, but hasn't been able to complete the pass.
What about my fantasy pick of Coulter? I tell you, he's just going to be right there, give you a chance to win, at least. Lurking right outside that top 5, faster than Sauter right now. If he could grab that spot, he's still got a shot at this baby with a caution or 2.
Yeah, you're doing good. Your fantasy pick's running 7th. I mean, that's pretty good.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give props to Chris Devoda. She was the one who thought James Buescher might be able to get to victory lane, but still a lot of racing to go. 16 laps here at Kentucky. Ty Dillon running 2nd. Keselowski is 3rd. See Jason White just in front of the 4 of Kyle Larson.
That's a battle for the 10th spot right there. Kyle Larson had dropped back behind Miguel Paludo, and now he's gotten back by Paludo, going after Jason White for the 10th spot. The top 10 in your first race would be good feather in his cap.
Very impressive run for the 4 of Kyle Larson. Still on the lead lap, Clay Greenfield in the 68, Paulie Haraka in the 5. Those guys are running 18th and 17th respectively.
Yeah, good solid top 20 runs for those trucks if they can finish it off here to the end.
Justin Lofton involved in an incident earlier tonight. He's running in the 16th spot with some damage to that truck.
He's done a great job of soldiering on. He could have easily finished about 28th, 30th.
Once again, we're seeing Coulter and Sauter run side by side. Coulter just can't complete that pass. Sauter with the momentum, able to get back by. Cale Gale limping along in the 33.
Yeah, Cale's in the 25th spot after that incident off of turn number 2.
He's 8 laps down to the field. And Ty Dillon still trying to hold on to that 2nd spot, but the competitor in 3rd is closing the gap, Ray.
Rick, a couple things to keep in mind. Ty came on the radio just a little while ago and said, guys, I'm really sorry we didn't get the full practice today. Remember, with that engine change, they lost about an hour today. But realize when they came down pit road the last time, they were in 10th position, and the right side tires let them go out in 1st. So it was a track position game, and so far Ty said the truck feels pretty steady. No difference whether they had 2 or 4, and that track position has meant everything.
So Ty Dillon running 2nd. Keselowski is 3rd. We want to take a 60-second break and be right back for the final 10 laps of racing from Kentucky. Ten laps of racing remain in the University of Northwestern Ohio 225 for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Kentucky Speedway.
University of Northwestern Ohio is a great sponsor of this truck series. Good to see them on this race. Really great sponsors, partners in the truck series. Exide Batteries on the truck leading the race. And makes this world go around, and you love to see those guys sign up to use this NASCAR sport as a way to market their goods and services.
James Buescher's best finish at Kentucky Speedway, 3rd a year ago. Looking to improve on that as we see 2nd and 3rd, Ty Dillon and Brad Keselowski.
And when you're running 2nd, the leader's just right there. You just can't quite get there. That's so frustrating. But what a job the team did. They gave him that track position, and Ty was good enough to take advantage of it. That's a great team effort for the 3 truck tonight. And we talked about it in the pregame. The crew chiefs will be a big difference maker here tonight, and that crew chief and that team there certainly pulled the job off.
They made up 9 spots the last time they were on pit road with a strategy move on pit road to get Ty Dillon off first.
And Michael Shelton, James Busher's crew chief, he went with 4 tires because they had the fastest truck. They had the track position coming into the pits. He came out close enough to the lead. He used those 4 tires to get the lead, and then he's been steadily opens it up to about 2 seconds, and then they run the same speed lap after lap.
And you know,
these two can't settle it.
No, it's going to go all the way to the finish, it looks like.
I think so.
Johnny just knows if he keeps a little bit of pressure on Coulter down on the bottom that he's not going to be able to make the move. And Johnny's a veteran. He knows how to make it tough on Joey.
It's been obvious. It's really easy to get beside somebody here. Really easy. Completing the pass has become pretty difficult.
You know, when they threw the green flag for this restart that ultimately got James Busher the lead that looks like could get him the win, he was on it. He was aggressive. He passed those trucks on the first turn and got the lead, and he never looked back. Well, he might have looked back.
What about the 10 truck length lead Ty Dillon had on Brad Keselowski just 1 lap ago?
Not anymore. Brad Keselowski all over the back bumper, the 3 of Ty Dillon. Now they're coming up into slower lap traffic. Let's see if Ty Dillon is able to negotiate by that 84 of Chris Fontaine. Does it well. Here comes the 19 of Keselowski down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Ty had to chase it up the hill a little bit. It opens up the door for Keselowski.
On the inside.
There you hear Mike Dillon.
All right, we got a big race here. Remember the big picture.
Telling him inside. 5 laps of racing to go. Keselowski to the inside of the 3.
Still half back.
I hope he tells him he's not half back anymore because he was up
back
beside
on the outside. Ty Dillon takes the spot back away from Keselowski.
Brad didn't need a spotter. Brad could feel, he knew that he was coming back on the outside.
But he's going to try the same thing. We saw him make a strong move on the bottom off turn 4. Makes the same move and up beside Ty Dillon.
A good run once again for Keselowski. 4 laps of racing to go. Battling for the 2nd spot. Ty Dillon has it. Keselowski wants it.
Okay, that's allowing Matt Crafton to catch up, though. Matt's not that far behind this side-by-side battle for 2nd.
Keselowski closing the gap. Running in the 4th spot, Matt Crafton.
These guys get side-by-side again. We've seen what Matt Crafton will do when somebody gets side-by-side in front of him.
Keeping the momentum up on the high side of the racetrack is that 88 of Crafton. Can he get a strong run once again and battle for the 2nd spot?
I think he might need those guys to get side-by-side first, though.
3 laps of racing to go. James Busher with a 3.2 second lead over Ty Dillon. The battle for 2nd continues. Here comes Keselowski to the inside again.
Watch Crafton, watch the run. Crafton gets now. Let's see if he catches him at the right spot, guys.
This time Keselowski with a strong run into turn number 3. Clears that 3 of Ty Dillon. Moves up the racetrack to take 2nd away.
They're going to go side by side again, and you said it, Phil. Watch Matt Crafton. He's going to try to make it 3 wide on these guys.
2 laps of racing to go. The battle for 2nd continues. Ty Dillon on the bottom of the track. Brad Keselowski on the high side. Here comes Crafton.
Crafton's going to jump right to the outside of Ty Dillon. Ty pulls up to block him.
Crafton all over the back bumper of that 3. That is for the 3rd spot. Coming through 3 and 4. Out in front of this field, it's the 31 of James Busher. He'll see the white flag one more time around for the 31.
Matt Crafton all over the back of Ty Dillon. He's got about 3/4 of a lap to try to get it done.
Keselowski to the bottom of the racetrack, holding on to 2nd. The battle for 3rd. Ty Dillon just in front of the 88 of Matt Crafton. Keselowski holding on to 2nd. Now here comes the 3 of Ty Dillon. A hard charge by the 88. The battle for 3rd is on, working through 3 and 4 as they battle for position. It's going to be the 31. James Busher winning at Kentucky.
They're going to be side by side for that 3rd spot.
Very close. It goes to Ty Dillon for 3rd. Keselowski has 2nd. Crafton's going to finish in the 4th spot. Peters is 5th. Sauter and Coulter your top 7.
Sauter held off Coulter for 30 laps. They ran side by side in and out of traffic, and Sauter held him off.
Awesome.
And a top 10 finish for Kyle Larson in his debut in the Camping World Truck Series.
Well, we've had a repeat winner in 2012.
See what James is doing there?
Winner.
He's taking all the brake off the front of off the back of the truck and putting it on the front so he can give us a little bit of a show here
You
in a
think
minute.
he's going to burn that one down a little bit?
I think so. I think that was what that move was all about.